What's up, boys? It's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we obviously got a new promotion in FIFA Ultimate Team, Road to the Finals, UEFA Champions League. It is absolutely incredible. The idea, the brains, it's genius by EA coming up with this. It's like taking Ones to Watch to a whole new level. I'm sure you've heard about it. I want to go through it very quickly and kind of tell you what I see from it in my perspective as we get into FIFA, as we have other events coming forward, because these cards are going to be with us for the entire year. We're going to look at a Champions League schedule time-wise, and we're going to see that there is a lot of time for these cards to get upgrades, a lot of time for these cards to play real games, to follow their teams in real life football. So basically, everything around these teams that you see, the player list here, will go into Ultimate Team. I have a team set up in there as well. But I want to go to the FAQs and kind of just talk about these teams. So a player gets upgraded from these Road to the Final players with an inform item. So it's an inform-like upgrade. Now, we know that those types of upgrades can vary, but we just know it won't be a Champions League upgrade like the original Champions League cards were. It's not just going to be +1 everything. So, you know, it might be +1, +2, some inform upgrades that we get with every day or every week Team of the Weeks. They're average, you know, that's maybe +1 or +2 for the higher up players. But that's still more promising than just getting +1s all the way around. So these cards are going to get boosted a lot throughout the year, you know, stat-wise. So that's going to be interesting to see. And each card has the potential to get up to 7 upgrades. So advancing to the knockout stage, and that's about a month away. So as we think about these cards right now, they'll get their first upgrade in a month. All the cards that advance to the knockout stage in the Champions League, we'll have to watch those. So we have this team, I believe there's 20 in total, 20 or 21 in total, this team on the UEFA Champions League items. But the UEFA Europa League items, there are only going to be 4? Yeah, I think there's 4 of them, and they're only coming through SBCs. So yeah, see a player list here, which includes 21 UEFA Champions League dynamic items, and then in addition, 4 UEFA Europa League dynamic player items will be added through SBCs. So it's going to be SBC only. Obviously, we already have one. It is Jonathan Tah. That's going to be something interesting to look at. So we'll have to watch Europa League games too, and especially as we continue on into the year after the knockout stages. Obviously, the teams that are in the Champions League that do not make it on into the knockout stages, they will go down into the Europa League. So I mean, these cards, they won't die once they or they won't be able to not be upgraded. They will still have a chance to get upgraded if their team gets demoted from the Champions League into Europa League. Here's kind of the upgrade path. It looks like they're going to go a +1 for each round, depending on. So right now we're here with the 89. So for somebody who is 89 rated, actually there's not a single 89 rated card that is in this team set as I'm looking at it right now. So it looks like they're going to get +1s for each of the boosts. And I want to look at a timeline as well. So right now we are in the group stage time period, and we are right here, early November 2018. So in a couple weeks after Black Friday, we're gonna have another game week, and that's gonna bring kind of the hype back for these cards, because right now we just had a game week, and you know, these cards are out there in packs. Definitely not a great investment at the moment because they are high in price. They're still rare. We might get an SBC for untradeable ones. We'll see. You know, we have a lot of stuff that could happen yet, so they're not buys yet. But we have to keep in mind that these cards can't get upgraded until right here, December 11th and 12th. That's what we're looking at for like the very first upgrade if their team advances from the knockout stages. And it doesn't really say when. It just says that they will get upgraded when they advance to the knockout stage as the first upgrade for some of these cards. So let's head back over into FIFA Ultimate Team and kind of look at the card selection and what we could have going for ourselves here, and maybe look at some of the prices as well. So first of all, you look at the selection, you're like, this is a pretty freaking good selection. You've got overpowered players, you've got players that people love to watch and play with in real life, and you have some undervalued players who often aren't appreciated by informs in FIFA Ultimate Team. The first guy that comes to mind when I think of that is Perisic. He's always getting informs, and you know, right now he's at 180k. And if you look at other guys that are like 100, if you look at Alexis Sanchez, who's kind of a similar value, you know, he's about the same rating. He is Man U, he is Premier League, and he's about 100k more than this Perisic card is, and this Perisic card is definitely better than the Sanchez card on the bench here. So there are a lot of cards that have the potential to get some insane upgrades. Obviously, City has been playing very well in the Champions League so far. You obviously have Barcelona, who's playing well, but then you have a guy like Davinson Sanchez on the Spurs who might not do so well, and this is where some of the strategy comes in. You may have heard people talk about this. Let's say Davinson Sanchez and the Spurs don't make it into the knockout stage of the Champions League, and they get demoted to the Europa League. So they get demoted, they're playing in the Europa League. You know, they might still be a better team than a lot of those other teams that are in Europa League, so they could go further in the competition, therefore get more upgrades. That's something to look at as well. So maybe you have a team down here, like maybe Manchester United does not make it on until and into the knockout stage. We're just speculating, this is pure speculation. Let's say they don't make it on, but they get into Europa League and they sweep and they end up winning Europa League. This Jesse Lingard card is going to get a lot of upgrades throughout the year as he keeps progressing. So one other thing I want to look at with these cards are as they enter the market right now with their current stat upgrades and stat boosts, because each of these cards received a slight boost over their Champions League card that they previously had. I actually don't think that anybody on this list has had an inform yet so far. So are there any cards that kind of replace or challenge an already meta player in this game? So the first thing I think of when I think about that is Alex Telles. He's going to come into this game and have a major impact right away because he's a left back, he is Brazilian, and he challenges Alex Sandro at that left back spot. Even today, when these cards were released, Alex Sandro's left back card dropped in price as people saw this Telles card and they're like, wow. I remember Telles, a team of the season card from last year, kind of the same thing happened. He challenged Sandro at that left back position because he is Brazilian. May not have as good of links as Sandro does, but he's entering the game as a very meta card. Same with this Fabinho card. Everybody is loving Fabinho this year, and he's an absolute tank in game. He's borderline what people call it. People have been calling him an icon almost for how good he is. A couple other guys that I want to point out is Cuadrado. You know Juventus is going to make it. Juventus is going to go far in this tournament just because they are so good with Cristiano Ronaldo at the front of their team. And this Cuadrado card, imagine this card after 2 upgrades. 2 inform-like upgrades. He's going to have 95, 96 pace, middle 80s shot, middle to upper 80s pass, 92 dribbling. He's going to have like 75 defense and almost 80 physical. And he's easily going to achieve those stats. So I look at this card and I see this one as one of my favorites because he is on Juventus, because he gets one strong link to Ronaldo. And if you're putting Ronaldo at striker in a 4-3-3, even if like people have been playing Ronaldo at CM this year, you get a nice green link to Ronaldo. If you're in a 4-3-3 formation, that right winger only needs 2 links. So it's going to be easy to make hybrids with, and it's going to be a nasty card to use because he fits this game. He only has a 3-star weak foot, but is an insane looking card. Another one that I think is going to be a game changer this year is Florenzi. There aren't always a lot of good right backs in the Serie A. We have Cancelo, but Florenzi is here to challenge him. Kind of a different kind of card. I remember, you know, Florenzi has had his cards in the past. He had the foot birthday version at center mid. But I think this is going to be people always want to sub in Florenzi at center mid, but this card's going to be insane. I mean, he comes in and he provides a nice green link to Inform Manolas. People love the Manolas Inform. So that's going to be a card to keep your eyes on as it could get potential upgrades. I mean, that card gets 2 upgrades. He's almost at 90 pace. Insane. And the last but not least, Renato freaking Sanchez, a FIFA 17 monster where he first got a once to watch card and kind of got his hype for being very OP as a gold card. This guy's got high work rates, and look at his stats. The dynamic image is sick, and the stats are even better. If you look at these stats right now, you're like, okay, that's pretty good. He's very well-rounded. He's got some dark green areas. He's got a couple orange areas, you know, not the best at finishing, not the best composure or curve, but you're not going to be shooting with this guy. This guy is a pure CM or CDM. He's got the high work rates, but he's got the 90 stamina to match. He's got 81 pace. He's got 92 shot power, so he can rip them from deep. He's got decent passing as well, and 94 aggression. So this guy's going to be insane in the midfield. And you maybe have seen on Twitter, some people have put out possible progressions if Bayern does well, which they surely are on track to in the Champions League. This Renato Sanchez card could be absolutely mental inside the game. So overall, I think this UCL live concept, following their team's performance instead of individual performance, is something different. It's genius. It's really good. The player selection was phenomenal, and I think we're going to be able to trade these cards a lot during the year. It's basically just going to be finding low points. It might be a really good time to pick up these cards during Black Friday. Black Friday is when, this promotion will it won't be forgotten about, but these cards won't be on the forefront of everybody's minds like they are right now. And especially because we don't know what's coming in this promo regarding maybe upgradable or repeatable upgrade SBCs. Maybe we get something that's like kind of like a winter ones to watch, where you have the tradable and the untradeable SBC for these Champions League cards. It just depends on how rare and how uncommon EA wants to keep these cards, because they were flooded onto the market today with those 50k packs. I think they had like a 3.4% chance of you packing one of those cards from the 50k packs today from the store if you rip those promo packs. We'll look at the probabilities. Yeah, 3.4% of the time you're going to get a UCL road to the final player, which honestly, that is pretty high. So a lot of those cards were packed today. So basically, we're going to have to keep a watch on which cards are rare, because obviously the cards that are more rare, even if they're maybe not as in demand, those cards still have a huge potential to rise, because rarity is a massive thing in this game. And we're going to have to keep watching the team standings, We're going to have to keep watch on, all right, Champions League games are coming up this week. What are the prices looking like for these cards? And what's the table looking like? If the team wins today, it's going to be really interesting. Maybe a team who's on the edge of promotion, like the Spurs, maybe one game kind of goes in their favor, and it's like that last week of group stage play, and they have to get a win to get in, and they don't win. Will Davinson Sanchez's price tank? That's going to be something to watch, because if it does, might be a time to buy in. So we're going to have to watch these games and be, wherever you're at during these games, watch them, get on your phone with the companion app or the web app, and watch these player prices react to games. And we'll get our first taste of that here in about 2 weeks when the next Champions League games are. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to slap a like on it and comment down below which of these players is your favorite, because I think there are tons in here that people are going to want for their Ultimate Team squads, and it's just another cool feature that we have had added to FIFA Ultimate Team this year. Again, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on so you know when an upload goes live. It's been Nate, the Foot Accountant. Catch you guys later. Peace out.